Hey smart people, Toby Salam here. Let me show you in this video how you can take payments from clients by sending them invoices and having them make payments to you using card or whatever else payment method or payment gateway that you so desire when you build this yourself under 30 minutes. So surprised? Let me show you. So you send the client a link such as this. Once the link loads, this is what the client sees. They can download the invoice as a PDF. They can make full payment or partial payment of that particular invoice. Let's say they decide to make a partial payment. They click on Pay Now after selecting the amount of money. And then they go to this badly designed page, which I didn't have the time to design, but you certainly can design to make it look however best you want it to look. I set up Stripe to be used inside of here, so the client can use Stripe to make their payment. Let's just go through the process. I'm using a test Stripe account in this case, but you can use a real Stripe account and it's going to work the same way. Let's say you specify this to be in 2029 and something as your CVC. Specify your email address, type in a phone number here. You have here your first and last name, Bisalami, right here. I click on Pay Your Order. The moment you're done paying for this, it returns you back to the invoice which you have created and tells you that it's partially paid now. It shows you how much has been paid inside of a payment history. This is very, very beautiful. And of course, I'm going to show you how you can do this without writing any code whatsoever. After your client is done making this payment, the clients can see such details inside of a dashboard that you create for them. Let me show you how that client's portal looks for the side of your client. You want to add a username here. Let's say that username is me@tobysalami.com, which is in this case your client's email. Let's type in the password for that particular client. And after you type in the password, you can click remember me, click on sign in. That client will now have access to their own portal where they can see all of the invoices that they've paid for, the ones that's currently unpaid, and they can come inside of invoices, view all of the past invoices, see the one that's partially paid, click on view to view that particular invoice. They can click on pay now to pay the rest of the money, or click on download to download that invoice as a PDF. Let's say they click on full payment and pay now. They're going to go through the same process as they went through before to make the payment. Now, all of this that I just showed you, I did without touching a single line of code. I want to show you how to do it right now. Are you ready? Hit that like button, subscribe if you've not already done so, and let's get into it. My name is Toby Salami. Welcome. There are a number of plugins that you need, but the most important one here is BitCRM for the purpose of this tutorial. And if you want to get the license, all you need to do is go to tobysalami.com/BitCRM. Inside of here, you're going to be redirected to this page where you can get 50% off the lifetime license right away. If you grab the lifetime license right now, you will not lose that opportunity once it closes permanently in a bit. Thanks to BitApps for sponsoring this tutorial. BitCRM is a plugin that you can use to ensure that you have all of your data, your contacts, your leads, and your entire sales pipeline right inside of your website. You don't need something like Zoho CRM in order to do this externally. You can control all of your data. You don't share your data with any third party whatsoever. What's even more interesting is that you can hook this up to things like Claude, ChatGPT, and others via an MCP server and have your agent manage your entire CRM for you. It's simple, it's fast, it's also very, very beautiful. I'm going to show you one use case right inside of this video. So let's return back to our plugins page here. You have Bitflows, which is another plugin from BitApps. I've shown you a couple of times in other videos how you can make use of Bitflows. It has a tight integration with BitCRM and you can use it to do even more things here. But for the sake of this tutorial, you only need BitCRM. Your page builder really doesn't matter here. It doesn't matter what your theme is. Just ensure to have BitCRM installed and you're ready to go. Now, let's also install WooCommerce because we need WooCommerce to be able to take payments from any WooCommerce enabled payments gateway. And this is why you have 1,000 ways to get payments. Whatever payments gateway is supported by WooCommerce, which there are actually a plethora of them right now, you can use any of this to take payments for your invoices. Let me go ahead to show you how you can do what I showed you at the beginning of this video. Let's go now to BitCRM. You can find it on the left side right here. If you enter into BitCRM, you're welcomed with this beautiful dashboard that you can use to basically understand all of what you have within the CRM, the leads, the contacts, the companies, deals, invoices, and so on. Our focus for now are invoices, but keep in mind you can have all of this at the top right here, including the more option here, which has way more options for you to select from. These things are part of CRM as you would normally know them, and it can help you to connect some customer data to some meetings, some calls, tags, and so on. Anyways, let's focus on the invoices. If you go inside of invoices, keep in mind you first need to set up certain things about your company, which you can set up right here inside of settings. Let's open up that settings so you can see how it looks here. If you come inside of settings, you would find that you have certain settings regarding your logo, your business name, your email address, your business address, which I have beautifully written inside of here. If you want to know where I live, it's called Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Yeah, right there. So you have the city, the state, and so on. All of this you need to fill in, then click on Save Changes. Once you're done with that, you will now have certain additional details inside of your invoice, such as the logo, already pre-filled and ready to go, which you find inside of here when you click on New Invoice. You would find it on the top left right here, pre-filled and ready to go. The advantage of this is that you can specify an invoice number that is a dynamic one. And what that means is that the last invoice that was sent out will be incremented by 1. You don't have to manually set things up, as I showed you in a previous video on my channel. I'm going to link that video in the description below too. Once you do that, it gets a dynamic number and it keeps incrementing that number every time you create an invoice. And this is absolutely spot on. This is good. Inside of invoice date, you specify the date you're issuing the invoice, the terms, which is how long you can give the person to make this payment. So maybe if you say net 15, what you're saying is 15 days from the date the invoice is created. All of these things are customizable. You can customize these terms. If you click on configure right here, let's click on that. Each of these terms, if you come to invoice settings, still inside of settings right here, but down here inside of invoice settings, you would notice that you have the configure payment terms part, the tab here, that helps you to specify each of this. You can specify the term name and then the number of days that is incremented or given to a person before the due date elapses. This is interesting, and the fact that you can customize this also makes it even better. It comes with some defaults, which are what you see right here, but you can add more or edit it as you so desire. Inside prefix settings, let's take a look at that. You can also change the default prefix. You can change it per invoice, or you can specify a global one that will show in every single invoice right here. Let's move ahead to payment. This is the part that makes me go, wow. You can accept invoice payments via WooCommerce, and this option will only show you here if you have WooCommerce installed and enabled. It would also give you additional options, which I'm going to show you in a bit. If you come down here to integrations, you would see WooCommerce. If you click on WooCommerce, you'd find options that will only show up if you have WooCommerce installed. Enable WooCommerce products is going to do something for you that I'm going to show you in a bit. WooCommerce Sync will help you to sync all of your contacts to your WooCommerce customers so that the contacts in your CRM match those inside of your WooCommerce orders. And that's nice because it helps you to track what a person is purchasing on the website. You can segment customers and say, okay, I'm sending out mails only to this group of customers who have made this particular product purchase on my website. And that's nice. You can also tag the contacts so that when a person is created, a contact is created, it is tagged by the name of the products that they purchased. And this is nice because it helps us to do that segmentation we talked about. You also have this product tag prefix, which would prefix it by something like product or something else which you so desire. You can include the coupon that a person uses in checkout as a tag, or you can add a coupon tag prefix, which I choose to just call coupon here. These are settings that will be expanded upon in the future. The BitApps team need your feedback, so you can definitely leave comments in the comment section below. Let's move ahead now to customizing that invoice to be able to send it out to clients and get them to pay us quickly. Let's go. If we come back here to the invoice page, when you create a new invoice, you have this logo pre-filled. You have this, which we talked about before. Let's say it's custom and we want to specify the due date to maybe 2 days from now, maybe Thursday. Now you have the from here automatically pre-filled by virtue of the general settings you have here. Remember that? Yes, it's pre-filled by that. And right here where you have selected deal. Now what a deal basically is just a connection to a particular customer, so that when you're creating an invoice, you know that this invoice is created for this particular customer. So let's come to deals. I want to show you how it works. Inside of deals, you have the deals that you create. I had one that I called default deal right here. If you edit the deal, you'd see that deal is connected to a particular contact, which you see right here. I just selected myself as the contact. You can also specify what this deal means, whether it's in the proposal stage, in the negotiation stage, whether it's in the won stage, or whether it is lost. This helps you to be able to understand if your deals are coming through as you expect them to. But the important part is to connect it to a contact. And if you connect it to a contact, that contact will automatically have all the invoices associated with that deal connected to them. You see how beautiful it looks? I'm going to show you the dashboard and how it looks and how all of this connects together. That contact is what we need to first create and then connect it to a deal. Then the deal is connected to the invoice, so that you can very easily switch one deal to another deal and have all of what is associated with that deal transferred to another contact. And in my opinion, that makes complete sense. Let's come back now to the invoice which we were previously creating. Let's select that deal, which I just called default deal. You can see it pulls in the contact information as the person that this invoice is going to be issued to. You could type in an invoice title if you so desire. I could say that this is invoice for web development or something like this. And right down here, you can see a beautiful option. Let's say that you have products on your website, Woo products on your website, and you want to select from those products right here. You can do that. You can also, if you choose not to select a product from WooCommerce, create a local product. If you click on local here, you would need to select from a list of local products which you create. If you come here, you can see products. You can create various products without using WooCommerce, but I'd recommend using WooCommerce in case these are products that they're the same costs for a number of clients. You can even use it to determine your hourly payments and stuff like that, and then just connect it granularly so that the moment you change the price inside of WooCommerce, it changes across all of the invoices that you issue, so that if a client wants to pay for that invoice just after you make a change to that product price, it automatically updates the invoice accordingly. You also have custom here, which just means you can type in right here what the value of whatever you're offering as a service is. So let's say that web dev for April, and you say that the price is maybe 1,670, and that's the cost, and there's no discount, no tax. If you want to add a description, you can do that. You can also add new line items, as many line items as you want, and each line item can have a different source. For example, this one can be from Woo, this one can be from the other custom as we specified before, and another can be a local product. It's very granular, but also very interesting to use. If you want to add notes, such as pay this to my bank account or something, and you want to specify your bank account number, you can specify that there. You can specify the terms of this invoice, maybe that the invoice should no longer be paid for if a certain time has elapsed, or if there are certain defaults. You specify that in the terms here. The moment you're done with all of this, you can click on create and preview. Once you do this, it has basically created that invoice and attached it to that particular customer. And I like it. It's good. Now, let's take a look. There are more things you can do here. For example, you can specify payment settings. You can take partial payments if you so desire, and that's just beautiful. You can also specify the minimum amount of payment you can receive. Let's say you want the client to pay over a period of time, but maybe pay in 70% or something like that. You can specify percentage here and say that the minimum you can pay initially is 70% or something like that. You can also specify it in USD. Let's say you specify this to maybe 1,000 as the minimum payment that the person can make. This is entirely your choice. Once you're done with this, you click on save. You now have that partial payment locked in. Now, every single thing you do here will have the timeline automatically updated. You can see when it was created, you can see when it was updated. Now, let's go to the interesting part where you have to share this invoice with a client. There are two ways to do it, very beautiful ways. In fact, you can click on share link. And when you do this, you have a link here, which would be a secure link that you can share with your client. Now let's copy that. Let's open a new incognito or private window and click on paste and enter. Now we're viewing this as a client would view this particular invoice which we created. Let's see how easy it is to get this done. Once you view it, you see how beautiful it looks. It just looks great. And the advantage here is that you can go for the partial payment. Let's say the client wants to pay partially. You can see $1,000 here. You can decide to pay the $1,000 payment right now. Let's do that as an example. Let's say the client wants to make the payment here. If the client wants, they can click on download and they'll have a PDF of this particular invoice downloaded. But let's click on pay now and see what happens. We click on pay now, we're going to be redirected to a WooCommerce page, which would help us to make the payment. Don't bother yourself with the design because I didn't have time to make this look beautiful for the sake of this tutorial. Keep in mind, you can design this to look however you want. This is the main website. You can see the total to be paid here is 1,000. Let's say that the client wants to make this payment. So the client enters his card number. The client wants to enter a month. So let's say the 10th of the year 2029 is the end date. Let's type in anything as a CVC because this is in test mode and I have Stripe enabled right here. So let's just do that. Okay. We can now go ahead to click on pay for order. Let's see if that goes through. We click on pay for order. Let's see what happens. Remember, the aim here is for us to confirm that a client can make payment for an invoice and that invoice will be partially paid as we expected. Just look at how beautiful that is. You can see payment history here. 1,000 has already been paid. You can see what's left to be paid. You can see what's due right here and you can click on full payment. Let's say the person wants to make the rest of the full payment. They can do that. Let's say we want to click on the full payment. We click on pay now. We're going to be redirected and an invoice of that 670 will be what is sent all the way to our payments gateway like Stripe or whatever that we choose to use as the card. Let's say we want to use that card that we specified there. Yes, we want to use that card. It's now mimicking the process of sending an email to confirm payment via that card. But since we're in test mode, we're just going to use 0 in 6 places and it's going to go through now and the payment is going to go through. We're going to click on pay for order. Let's see what happens. Will it complete the payment and mark the invoice as fully paid? Let's see. And we're just going to wait. Payment received. Awesome. Now you see paid. You can see the payment history right here. This is what the client sees when they're sent a link just like this. But what's even more important and what's even more beautiful is the fact that you can very easily, if you want to, specify that the client should have access to a dashboard. Let me show you that. First, we're going to click on close of this incognito window. Also, I want to point out to you that inside of your own view right here, you can take note of the payments and the date they were paid, how they were paid. All of this is synced to WooCommerce so that if you check inside of WooCommerce, you can see these actual orders created there. Let's open the orders, order 38 and 37, 38. Both of them marked as completed. The origin is unknown because of the fact that we're in an incognito window. Now, the part that's interesting is having to send the client access to a dashboard. Let me show you how you can do that. Let's come back inside of BitCRM Pro and show you what you can do when you view a particular contact. Let's just say that you want to give this particular client access to the dashboard. This client, which I've specified as Salami right here, that's myself. Hello. And if you're new here, my name is Toby Salami. And on this channel, I teach dynamic WordPress development in a way that's beautiful and you can understand it as simply as possible. If this is something you like, hit that like button below and you can also subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you do not miss the next video, which I will release in the future. Let's now take a look at how easy that is to set up. Inside of here, you can see that when you open the client and look at the client's details, you can manage all of the personal information of the client, which is also going to be synced with WooCommerce if you have that enabled. You can see the tag here for WooCommerce so you can know where that particular client is coming from. But more importantly is this client portal access. The moment you toggle this on, an email is sent out immediately to this client via that particular email. That email is going to say that, hey, you have a client portal set up for yourself, and here is your username, your password that you can use to log in. Once the client has that, the client will be able to log in. Let me show you how that email looks. I'm not going to show you my Gmail inbox, but I'm going to show you the email log that goes out from here. Let's look at one of the emails, this one that says that the client portal is ready. This is how it looks. It's going to be sent out to the client. You can see the email, the password, the access your portal link right here, which will take them to the portal. Let's copy that link address, open the incognito window, and see how it's going to look for your client when you create this portal for them. Let's just enter into that particular link, which is automatically created. Of course, you can customize this as you want. Let's open up the portal and try to log in using that email address and password. me@tobisalami.com. We're going to put that as com. And then we can type in the password right here. Let's just type in the password. Remember me, sign in. Now, this is how it's going to look. It's pretty simple, pretty clean. You can see the amount of invoices, the paid invoices, unpaid, and the overdue. You can see inside of contacts, this particular client's contact who is currently logged in. He can edit it, he can view it if he so desires. He can see all of the details that you are keeping about him. Inside of invoices here, he can see all of the list of invoices that has previously been created for him. He can view those invoices. He can download these invoices as PDFs. Everything looks pretty simple, pretty clean, very well designed in my opinion. The clients can log out from here or go into the settings page here where they can make such changes as update their current passwords and see certain security tips for their account. This is nice in my opinion. It's beautiful. I love the simplicity of it. I also love the fact that you can customize this a little bit to fit with your brand colors and stuff like that. Let me close that incognito window for now. I love how the client's own display of their own portal access is, but this is already a solid beginning. Keep in mind that for each contact, you can manage all of what you see here, the emails sent out, the tasks for that particular contact. So let's say you're managing tasks for a particular client. You have meetings set up. You can manage them here, calls, attachments, maybe PDFs, maybe contracts that you have with this particular client, maybe proposals. You can attach those as attachments. You can add notes that only you can see, or you can also share such notes, which is very, very beautiful. You can include the notes, type in details, and share it with the contact of this particular client. You also have links you can add, and of course deals. All deals associated with this contact is changeable both ways. You can either add more deals here or go to a deal and specify the contact from there. Everything is basically granular, and I believe if you touch this for 1 to 2 minutes, you're going to absolutely love it. Let me point out one last feature just before we go here. If you come inside of MCP server, you have the ability to enable an MCP server and let your agent manage all of this for you. You don't have to do much of what's here because you have a ton of tools that expose all of these settings and the ability to add more data to the CRM via your agents like Claude or Codex and so on. So I just thought to show you here how you can basically send out invoices to clients and have them pay you for whatever services that you render, track the invoices, the payments, and let the clients themselves have a dashboard that they can manage all of this from. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Let me know if you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a comment. If you didn't, also leave a comment. I'll be glad to hear what your thoughts are. My name is Tobi Salami as always, and until I see you next time, stay dynamic.